I was reading some statistic where like they thought that it was gonna sell 250,000 games, and it sold 5 million.
I have a funny story about that.
Okay,
actually.
go.
As the game was getting released, they could sense the buzz of it. I was just going a million miles an hour because I was still doing X Games, and I was just like I was working on the game. I was proud of it, but I just didn't imagine it was going to be big. And they called me right before the release, and they said, "We want to offer you a buyout of future royalties."
These pieces of shit. These pieces of shit. Oh my god!
Did the red flag go off right there? Did you realize?
No, are you kidding me? They said we want to buy you out for $500,000.
You're
And I was
like,
like,
sick.
at that time in my life, someone saying $500,000 sounded like a gazillion billion dollars. And I had just moved into a new house. I was getting pretty good royalties. Still, I was starting to make good money just from being a pro skater.
Right.
And I told him, I go, you know what? I think I'm just gonna take a chance and go for it.
God.
If I hadn't bought that house right then, I probably would have taken it.
Wow.
But I had just, like I said, bought a new house and was able to pay the mortgage, which is something that was new to me, being able to afford the mortgage on my house. And so I took a chance, and it was definitely the best financial decision in my life.
So were you, I mean, I don't want to, get in your pockets too much here, but like, I do want to. But so did they give you like a piece of the game, or like, how does it work with?
Royalties. Yeah.
So you just get a percentage of every game purchase.
Yeah.
And all the money that comes with the game, etc. Like if they sell merch or they sell.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of stuff happened based on the success of the game. I got all kinds of different endorsements and things and licensing deals. And I definitely attribute that to the success of the game.
100.
The thing that was the real silver lining to all of it was that all of the skaters had a deal that if it reaches these certain marks of sales,
they get a piece.
They get more. They get almost what they signed up for, and that original crew of skaters did really well.
That's great.
Okay, now this makes a little more sense. I always wondered how the fuck you were so, at least appeared so liked by these people you would just body in every competition. like every competition you're destroying, and then I see them on the side of the half pipe. They're hitting the half pipe. They're rooting for this person that is. There's only one person in their way of gold, right? How did they like you?
But that's just not just me. That is skateboarding.
Okay.
In a nutshell.
Okay.
It's an individual pursuit, but everyone's pulling for each other. So that's part of the community. I mean, if you go to a skate park and you see someone that's trying to nail something, you see everyone rally around them. And maybe later on you'll compete against them. But at some point it's just more like you want to see them succeed. And absolutely there was some cutthroat competition through the years, and people had issues with scores and all that kind of thing. But that was never the narrative.
They thought you got favorable scores,
or like, vice versa. It was more. Was
it Jordan rules for Tony Hawk? Was that the?
Actually, I think that through my years, especially in the late '80s and then afterwards in the late '90s, I know this definitely happened. I started getting judged for what they thought I was capable of, as opposed to what was against everyone else.
Interesting.
So if you were
and that gets
out,
really that gets weird when you want to be seen as a peer to all your competitors, but the judges see you as, well, this is what we saw him do last time.
You're chasing your own ghost.
Yeah, and even if what you did last time could be the best performance of the event, they're still like, well, he's got to step it up.
Right.
So we're going to mark him down for that.
Wow.
Same thing happened to Rodney Mullen.
Yeah, of course.
I heard Simone Biles was saying that in the Olympics that they're judging her based off like the other competitions and not,
Absolutely.
I can smoke everybody else here, but they're saying
and
what
that
I'm
gets
capable
really,
of.
and that gets isolating because then all your competitors are just like, they don't even really identify with you.
Right.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, let's put it this way. When I was competing, especially in the 80s, the people who I loved skating with and respected, they'd be like, oh man, I'm just hoping to get second.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were that far above. Did you have like a Kelly Slater-esque run? Would you see that as your competition? Like the way that Kelly was just on a different level
with surfing.
With surfing,
I definitely had a run of success like that. Yeah.
But in terms of the discrepancy between you and the other people doing your
not
sport,
always. It wasn't always like that.
Okay.
And no, I mean, I saw there were plenty of skaters that would come in. It was just more that I think I had a more consistent run.
Right. So they pop
and the
in for a few
longevity.
years.
So other skaters would come in and out and they would do well. And yeah, sometimes beat me. Absolutely.
I'm curious, like, do you sit down with like a Tom Brady, or like, do you sit down with like a Michael Jordan, or like are you all part of a group text or something? no. Like, I'm really mean this. Like,
I have never met Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I would love to. I'm working with Tom Brady on his autograph. IO, the digital collectibles.
Oh, okay.
So I have a connection to him. I haven't actually met him, but we are working together.
But when you see somebody like that, is there like an understanding that you guys have? You're kindred spirits in a way.
You know, like presidents like can all talk.
I don't know. We come from such different worlds. I don't know if it would be like that. I mean, I haven't sat down and.
But there's still
you always hear about like Roger Federer and Tiger Woods being really good friends, and Michael Jordan being good friends with Tiger, because there's a level of greatness that they understand, maybe a level of fame too, but greatness for sure. And you, especially Brady, because you guys are both doing it at advanced ages where it's like, this is supposed to be a young man's thing. And then even when you were doing the 900, you were like older than most of the competition, if I remember correctly, and you're dominating, doing historic shit that's never been done. There's something that very, very, very few people do except you guys. And there has to be some kind of connection there.
I would think so. I just come from such a different world of skateboarding that just wasn't popular, wasn't cool. We were doing it against all odds. So it's a different sort of journey. That's
the fascinating thing for me. Like when I was just doing some research, like I think that most people's perception is you have long floppy hair and you're wearing like tiny little knee pads skating in the pools. This is the chronology I think most people. You do a 900, a video game happens, and then you're on the McDonald's commercial. Like they don't realize there's any dips, changes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I got a lot of that. But like you said, I was 31 when I did 900, and I had been competing literally for 20 years. At that point.
Wow.